The orchestra has finished tuning up. The ushers at the back of the theater have closed the doors. There is an excited buzz that's going through the crowd. The reason? The curtain is about to go up on the greatest show in town, or at least the greatest show at this moment. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has let it be known that he will announce his bid for the Republican nomination to win the presidency tomorrow, May 24th at 6 p.m. Eastern. The announcement has been widely anticipated, but it's where he's making the announcement that has everyone all a Twitter. And yes, that pun is very deliberate. Hang on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to explain all this in just one moment. My name is Brian Trippett. I am your front porch conservative. Step on up to my electronic front porch and let's talk. News broke on late Tuesday afternoon, May 23rd, that Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, is going to be making his announcement that he will be seeking the Republican nomination to run for the presidency on Wednesday, the 24th of May, 6 p.m. Eastern. Now, like I said a moment ago, the announcement has been widely anticipated. There's been conversation on both sides, whether it's good or bad, is the opinion of a lot of people. But it's now out there. It's going to happen. So I want to take a moment, take a look at some of the news, look at some of the reactions, and then look at the reaction of the one person for whom perhaps this is the most important piece of information at this time. So let's start with what we know at this point. We go to the NBC.com website. Headline: Ron DeSantis will launch his presidential bid with Elon Musk. The Florida governor will announce he's running for president on Twitter Wednesday evening in a conversation with Musk. In a story written by Dasha Burns and Matt Dixon, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will announce he is running for president during a discussion with Twitter CEO Elon Musk, three sources familiar with the plans told NBC. Musk and DeSantis will host an event on Twitter Spaces, the site's platform for audio chats, on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be moderated by David Sachs, a tech entrepreneur who is a Musk confidant and DeSantis supporter. That same evening, the campaign will release a launch video, and DeSantis will begin visiting several early states after Memorial Day. Reading further into the article, the relationship could be a significant boost for DeSantis by giving him an introduction to and credibility with Musk's massive following, including his 140 million Twitter followers. But it could prove a burden should DeSantis become distracted by the tycoon's many controversial comments. The launch will closely tie together the billionaire tech mogul with one of the Republican Party's rising stars. Musk has been an admirer of DeSantis, who also regularly chides corporate media. Last year, Musk said he would support the governor if he were to run for president. The announcement will coincide with a retreat for high-end fundraisers pledged to support DeSantis in Miami. Bundlers will gather at the Four Seasons Hotel from May 24th to May 26th, receiving briefings from campaign staff combined with time to call around to raise money for the campaign. The DeSantis team has been in talks with Musk for at least the last few weeks, according to a source familiar with the discussions. In conversations, Musk has indicated he doesn't think former President Donald Trump can win back the White House. He's interested in the future, and he's interested in winning again, the person said. Now, that's the headline. Let's talk about this for a minute. I will give the DeSantis campaign a lot of credit. This is innovative, and it opens DeSantis up to a lot of different possibilities. I say it's innovative for a number of reasons. Number one, Twitter is the ultimate form of the town square at this moment. It's still got its problems as far as how much free speech you've actually got on the free speech platform. But as I say, it's the place where people go to get their news, to give their opinion, to smack talk one another, to give contrarian observations, etc. So I give DeSantis and his crew a lot of credit. This is an innovative move, as far as a campaign announcement is concerned. It's definitely not the standard campaign rally that a lot of teams will use. And again, nothing wrong with that. But I do like the fresh approach that's involved with this. I also like the fact that, DeSantis is trying to present an image of being fresh, being forward thinking, being progressive, small p progressive, in that he's trying to find new and different ways to reach out to voters. I like this move. I really do. I think it's smart. I think it's sharp. I think trying to align himself with Musk is not a bad move at all. I think it's a good idea. You got someone in Elon Musk that wants to look to the future. You got DeSantis who's trying to look to the future as well. Seems like a fairly good match if they can make the thing work, practically and politically. So yeah, I think this is innovative and it's clever. So let's take a look at some of the reactions to this news that has come out. I'm going to show you some positive, going to show you some criticism, and I'm going to show you an opinion of one person who's definitely interested in this campaign announcement. So let's start with the positives. And these are supporters of Ron DeSantis, as you might expect. We have a social media influencer here by the name of Just Mindy. Quote, Ron DeSantis and Elon Musk are giants in the bid to not allow the left to own and control every narrative institution. This announcement is groundbreaking, earth-shattering, a narrative-busting genius. It is a declaration of war. It's beautiful. And you know what? I can't disagree with this young lady. I have said it, and I'll say it again. I think the fact that the DeSantis campaign is doing this on Twitter, it's innovative, it's smart, and it's a giant FU to the corporate media. The fact that Ron DeSantis can make the announcement and have a Q&A session with, hundreds of thousands or perhaps millions of people all at the same time, I think this is a really good idea. I do. So another person's opinion, young lady named Marina Medvin. Here's why I'm excited about Ron DeSantis for president. He's one of us. Ron is a hardworking American man, a devoted husband, and a loving father to 3 young children. He holds genuine American values, both culturally and economically. He's intelligent and articulate, and he fully appreciates how both the law works and how the government functions. He uses all of this to get conservative policies in place and keep them in place. On top of all that, DeSantis is dogged. The man is relentless in getting what he wants. He sinks his teeth in and he holds down. He's a ferocious fighter for the right principles. Ron's politics represent my own more closely than those of any other politician in my lifetime, and his personal values match mine almost exactly. DeSantis represents me personally. I'm all in. DeSantis 2024. Let's go. Maybe it's time for a new nickname for the new candidate. I'll go with Dogged DeSantis. Okay. All right. Fair enough. A little bit more reaction. Not sure. Influencer named Ted Bud Enjoyer. Ron DeSantis is delivering results. If you're tired of all talk, no action politicians, then your choice is clear. And he's referencing a article at the Huffington Post, Pride events across Florida being canceled after the state's, quote, far-right governor signed multiple anti-LGBTQ plus bills into law. Their take on it. He's happy. Ted Bud Enjoyer is happy about it. So, reaction is positive. Finally, the DeSantis folks are getting what they want. They're getting their man. He's about to come into the race. But, as you might expect, there is a lot of commentary to the contrary. So, we'll start with there. Brigitte Gabriel. I really like Ron DeSantis, but I don't understand why he's running for president. The voters have already picked Trump, and Governor DeSantis was just elected to serve a 4-year term in Florida. He should have waited until 2028. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a criticism that a lot of people have made, myself included. DeSantis has a very bright political future. I don't understand why he feels the need to go head-to-head with Donald Trump, the man who right now holds a 40-point lead with 6 months to go until the first caucuses in Iowa, and, let's be perfectly frank about it, the man who made him politically. If Donald Trump doesn't endorse him in 2018, if he doesn't campaign in Florida 3 times in the last week, Ron DeSantis does not beat Andrew Gillum. But a few other people have some opinions on this. Laura Loomer has weighed in on this, conservative activist and influencer. She says, tomorrow is the end of Ron DeSantis' political career. He's going to see very quickly that his Florida facade isn't going to play well over nationally with the Trump base. Floridians will be pissed off tomorrow when they realize they've been lied to by a con man. Ooh, bringing the heat. Now, that take is coming in hot, but she's not necessarily wrong. There is a decided faction of the Trump base. They're not going to vote for DeSantis. And if it turns out DeSantis does manage to beat Trump, which, with all due respect to DeSantis supporters, I don't think he will. But if he does manage to beat Trump, that portion of the Trump vote are going to wash their hands of DeSantis, and it will probably hand Joe Biden re-election. So it's a hot take, but it's not necessarily wrong. And speaking of takes, I'll give you the take of one of the best people on the internet you ought to be paying attention to in all this, Rich Barris, a.k.a. the People's Pundit. Musk has Twitter sending attack bots for DeSantis. Ooh. Trump supporters feel, as always, the need to defend their guy. It's so cute watching and listening to it all. Meanwhile, $500 million later, on a fractured party outsmarted again by Democrats because they spent time and money on futile internal fighting for donors instead of a harvesting infrastructure. That will be the post-2024 story on this trajectory, regardless of who the nominee is, and it will most likely still be Trump. Please see an actual argument on Real Clear News if you can read it at all. Cue the Democrats laughing. I think he's got something a little further at the bottom of this. Yeah, here it is. And please, lazy people, do not reply. Read the story, and I'll be happy to engage in something worth my time. Yep. This is going to be a fight. This, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be absolutely nasty. When it finally does come down, there's going to be a lot of money spent trying to knock Trump out of the nomination. And let's be honest, it doesn't matter whose poll you look at. At a worst case scenario, Trump has a high lead in the 20s. At best case scenario, he's got a 40+% lead in the polls. The nomination is Donald Trump's to lose. So there's going to be a lot of money spent, a lot of blood laying on the floor, politically speaking. So let's just see how this happens. Now, what's Trump's reaction to all this, you might ask? Well, never at a loss for words is the Donald, and he says the following. In a statement released upon the news that DeSantis would be announcing tomorrow, quote, "This is one of the most out-of-touch campaign launches in modern history. The only thing less relatable than a niche campaign launch on Twitter is DeSantis' after-party at the uber-elite Four Seasons Resort in Miami. Every day, more and more Americans are realizing just how out of step Ron DeSantis is with their values and how unelectable he really is. From his votes to cut Social Security and Medicare, to his support on a national sales tax that would raise taxes on 90% of families, to his vote to support Obama's TPP, which sent jobs to China, to his vote against funding for President Trump's wall, Ron DeSantis just isn't ready to be president. President Trump is ready on day one to turn our country around, reverse Biden's disastrous policies, and make America great again," Caroline Leavitt, spokeswoman for Make America Great Again Incorporated. Well, some of that you might have expected, and that's perfectly understandable, but I will give the Trump campaign credit for this. There is a flip side to that coin. One side of the coin says announcing on Twitter is good. You're reaching a different demographic of voters. You get to control some of it to a certain degree, and it's innovative in its appearances. On the other hand, there are going to be a lot of voters and a lot of people who look at it and say, well, this is just being elitist and out of touch, and he's trying to hide behind a protected wall of a moderator who is his supporter, by the way. And he's also going to be able to control the flow of questions and answers that he's able to give and get. So take it all in. It's going to go down tomorrow, May 24th, 6 p.m. Eastern. Front Porch Conservative, your friend, is going to be doing a live stream, listening to the announcement, listening to the questions, offering some reactions, and hopefully I'm going to have a few friends of mine join in as they'll be able to sit in with me as we do this. So be looking for a link to a live stream tomorrow for 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be doing a live reaction to the DeSantis announcement. My name is Brian Trippett. I am your Front Porch Conservative. And before we go, remember the following. Please subscribe to the channel. Please leave some comments. Please share the videos around. Please give a thumbs up. As always, help me out if you can. I'll see you tomorrow, May 24th, 6 p.m. Eastern.